Hi everybody, this is Dustin Olverson and I'm a local real estate agent in Central Virginia, mainly the Richmond area, and I encompass about 30 miles of Richmond. And what I do is I flip houses. I'm also a real estate agent, but my primary thing is I'm an agent investor, or some people may call it an investor agent. That means I invest in real estate primarily, and I own a team and I manage a team with partners called One Dream Realty Group. So that's what I do. If you're interested in learning more or wanting to connect with me, please send me a message, reach out. Easy to find on social media, easy to find on Google to figure out, get my email or contact information. If you have a house that you're interested in getting rid of, it's a distressed property, needs to be sold, or maybe you're like, hey Dustin, I'm flipping this house. I would love to get some input and some feedback. I would actually show up, or one of the team members may show up, and maybe we'll talk it out and help you out. Usually that conversation saves a lot of people a lot of money, and we do it for free. We can't do it for everybody, but we try to get out there. So if you have a project you need to sell, if you're a wholesaler looking at dispo, reach out to us and we may be able to buy your property. So today what I wanted to talk about was the thing called feelings and commitment. So commitment for me, being very committed gets you the byproduct of consistency. Feelings in this type of environment, I'm in a flip that we just finished. It's in Prince George. It's in the countryside of Prince George. And I'm gonna talk about a little bit of that, and I may actually walk around and show you some of the things we do differently on the countryside than in the cities of like Richmond or something like that. But feelings and commitment. So I was committed to coming here today, but if I would have let my feelings get in the way on I didn't feel like doing it, I don't feel why I should do it, I don't feel too good, that would have definitely kept me from coming here. Being committed to the process, which is being the best flipper that I can be, being a great real estate investor, and going through the process, ensuring my investors get their money back and lenders, and I continue to provide work for my crews and my companies by being committed to doing this at the best level I can do. But if I let my feelings get in the way, it would definitely impact for me my consistency to do this. So I remove how I feel, and I really try not to think about how I'm feeling towards a situation, a group of people. Do I want to do it? And is this going to get in the way of my commitment? So I'm committed to being here today. I got up, I got here, and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Then I was like, hey, I'm having some issues right now because I was feeling a way, but I disrupted that thought with my commitment. And I was like, hey, I should share this because this is probably one of the things that have kept me consistent. And the consistency is what I'm trying to get out of the commitment. Because when I'm committed to getting something done versus feeling a way, you have less excuses. So if I'm committed to go to the gym 10 times this month, is different than I feel like I should be going to the gym 10 times this month. If I say I'm gonna be committed to 30 days of phone calls versus I feel like I can do 30 days of phone calls, or I feel I should do 30 days of phone calls, or I feel anything when it has to do, when I'm trying to do something, I try to remove that and say, can I commit myself to it? Am I gonna commit myself to it? And when I can commit to it, I have a higher level of success of being consistent with it. And that consistency has another byproduct, which is the success or the completion of what you're trying to do. So in real estate, if you would say that I moved kind of quickly, and some people are like, hey, you went from being a real estate agent to being an investor to being a team owner and doing other things rather quickly, I wasn't really concerned on how I personally felt. I was committed to making my family better. I was committed really to like my grandchildren. I was committed to my kids. I was committed to people that were putting money into me and believed in me. And I was believing in myself for the first time, I think more than others. So, and it was a unified thing where people were believing in me and I was believing in myself. And then I put commitment into that pot, which bred consistency. I didn't want to let people down, and I wanted to be successful. And the commitment to go through the process of sucking to being better and better each day. I am not the best flipper in Richmond or in the United States. I do not provide the best product. I do not do it the quickest. I do not do it the cheapest. But I do understand that there's a process of becoming better, and I can achieve all those things through a level of commitment and being consistent in what I do. So not being so trapped into the gloom and doom of what's around you, because a lot of people are in their feelings, especially if you go into YouTube and you're taking in a lot of social media. Man, there's a lot of negative things out there. So you also have to be very careful in real estate and real estate investing, is people that are feel that the market is away, and people that feel a house should look away, and people that feel it should be presented a certain way. You might not really want to listen to that and really think about how committed you are to going through the process to understand to be better in your lane, in your silo, versus the all, which actually may not even be doing what you're doing. They may have never flipped. They may have never invested. They may never not have a real estate license. They might not be doing the calls, but say they're doing the calls. So you got to be really careful, as well as coding your mind and staying away from the negativity when you're trying to be committed. Because social media, Facebook, if you listen to a lot of negative things, your mind will start absorbing, and you may be attracted to it, or it may become attracted to you. So the first time I see something negative on Facebook, I see somebody saying something negative, I actually stop unfollowing them. So if you see me as a follower, or I'm part of it, and you're putting out negative stuff, I'm actually unfollowed you, and I'm not gonna be impacted by somebody else's feelings. I do have feelings. I'm not a robot. I was a soldier for 26 years, and that may have been how I received that talent of being able to distance myself from what I was feeling and what was going on during a mission or incident that was happening with soldier, whether it's death or life, and being able to pull myself away from that and talk about my commitment to my unit, my organization, or the soldiers. So I can say I did translate that over to real estate investing, because a lot of people, when I came into this, I found out that they had a lot of feelings towards things that really should just be your commitment and how consistent you can be. And I would say that is definitely a reason why I've gotten to do so many flips. I've had the opportunity to work with so many great people that then share their knowledge to me, because I was showing up every day. I was just showing up every day. I showed up 365 days, you showed up 45. I'm gonna get more because I had the commitment, I had the consistency, which was the byproduct, which got me to my butt in that seat that needed to be in that room to receive that information. And then the next biggest thing I would say comes with feelings versus commitment is action. Feelings definitely have an impact on the actions you will take, where commitment, for me, usually only pushes out an action. If I'm committed to getting up in the morning at 8 a.m., you're just gonna set your alarm and have action. But if I have a feeling about that action, I have a pause. It pauses, I think about it, I process it. How am I feeling today? Y'all, it's rainy outside, it's cold outside. I feel like my body's hurting too much today. I am feeling overwhelmed. I am feeling that everybody's taking my energy. I am feeling sad. I am feeling tired. Man, if you let all those things and those feelings consume you, you will definitely have a delay in your action taking. So I'm not saying I'm emotionless. I'm not saying I don't have feelings. I do have compassion, love, care, and I love helping people. Probably part of my biggest reason why I do this, but I'm committed to it. I have a feeling, but I'm highly committed to the success of this project. I don't want to have a feeling to the emotional attachment of what the floors are, who designed what, how the staging went. Those are subject matter experts that help me with my commitment to put it all together. But if I have a feeling about that light fixture, that's gonna cause a delay in action. But I'm committed to working with the stagers and the designers that build a template for houses like this that get me the product that I want. So now they don't see me angry, they don't see me upset, they don't see me mad or disappointed. I'm committed to our relationship, I'm committed to this house, and I'm committed to get to the next project. But more importantly, I'm more committed to helping our partnership, our relationship get better over time by working together. So the feelings aren't there. But I work with a lot of people that have not or don't choose to and want to prioritize their feelings. And that's okay too. But you just have to be well adverse at expressing yourself. And what I do is let them know how committed I am, not through my mouth, but through my actions. So that's my spill. I felt kind of passionate. I've been talking for 11 minutes and 13 seconds on your commitment and how that can actually impact your consistency, which then results in actions. I'm not saying don't have feelings. I'm just saying how I look at projects and look at real estate as a level of commitment to be the best I can be, even though you may be better than me, but I'm gonna be the best I can be. So when I wake up in the morning, I look at myself in the mirror, I'm proud of me. And that's gonna continue to keep you to move forward. I see a lot of people stop projects. I see a lot of people get out of real estate, come back in it, stop real estate. I also believe that the only way I could lose is by quitting and giving up on myself. The first time I stop, the first time I don't get up, the first time I say I'm gonna take 3-6 months off and try to regenerate myself, rethink about if this thing is for me, it is the first signs of giving up. And the only way I can lose, I feel, is by giving up on myself. And I don't want to let myself down, most important, because I believe in myself and what I do daily more than what everybody else is. And that's a very powerful thing. So we're gonna walk through the property. I'm going to do a little bit walkthrough. So difference from, we actually started flipping houses in the countryside. That's really where a lot of our flips originated from. And when you flip in a countryside versus flipping in a city, you really have to have a different approach. And the first thing we kind of do is look at our surroundings. We look out the windows, we actually drive the neighborhoods. I mean, there's more cows out here, like the population of cows versus people. People are definitely a minority. There's at least 20 cows walking around out there. So one thing that we do is make sure that our house is warm. You see the floors, they're a little dirty right now, dusty because construction is going on, but they're very warm. Our lighting is warm. The accent around it is brown or wood, and it's very warm. Our colors aren't as gray and like, I guess almost steelish or cityish vibe of just like that grayish or that light gray or that dark gray on black on everything else. It doesn't really work as well out here. So we use a lot of warm colors. We do modernize, so we will do recessed lighting, but you won't see 62 recessed lights in a property like this, just where you need it, which is usually, the kitchen, and we'll do it in the living room and maybe a few other places. Some things that we will do is try to make sure there's large eating areas. We make sure the kitchen, we do put the farmhouse sink in. We make sure there's lots of counter space. We put a huge deck out there, so I'll walk out there because it's also important, usually, because we're all in septic and we are out in well, that the outside is usually very important as well. So nice big deck, large fenced in 1 acre of fenced in yard, so that you can enjoy the outside. You could have some animals if you want it. You could have some chickens if you want it. You can enjoy creating a garden or landscaping because you're way out here, and these are the things that you want to take time to do because most likely part of why you're so far from the city. So when flipping in the suburbs or in the country, you really want to see where you're at. You don't want to flip the same way you're flipping in the city. It's definitely a different vibe and a different feel. And I've actually spoken to a few people that have made that mistake because they noticed their house was sitting on market. And if you're in competition with a house that does it right versus a house that does it like they're in a city, you're definitely going to lose out, especially if you're in the same square footage, you're in the same area, but they actually have those things that they're looking for. A lot of doors to exit, large rear decks. And yes, spend the extra money. You don't put the small deck that you would do in, let's say, Richmond City. You put a very large, oversized one so that somebody could put a large grill or two. The people could sit outside in the back and have conversations and enjoy their large yard. So, putting small decks and small porches as you would in a city where you don't have the same room will actually impact you. And also impacts your appraisal as well. A larger deck, appraise-wise, from when I pull my appraisals and compare to, actually receive a higher valuation. And the deck is actually looked at. Something we did also do is add bathrooms and add bedrooms. So it's always great when you can make the house affordable, but every room has a bathroom. That's a consideration for me as a flipper, where maybe I didn't put all the recessed lighting and I didn't do all the fancy lighting, but everything is very comfortable for the family that's gonna live here or utilize the space. So things to consider: you flip different in a country than you do in a city, and you need to have a lot of different considerations. So I hope this video helped. It's a little bit different, kind of talking about feelings, kind of talking about what we do. I was like, man, I never even say who I am except for what I am. And I don't even share that, hey, we are real estate agents. We do sell houses. I'm a licensed real estate agent. I do flip a lot of houses and invest a lot of houses as well. But we do sell real estate. So if you want a perspective like mine on your team, it'd be great to reach out to me, because this is how I think and this is how I work. If you're attracted to that and you want to have some of that on your side, then I'm the agent for you. And my team is the agent for you. We have this average standard normal agents that just do real estate, sells and buys side, that just love helping family members as well. But I bring something a little bit different. I look at the appreciation of the house, the location of the house, and I don't just look at the house as a place to live. I look at, what is this investment going to turn into 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now? Because one of your biggest investments will be the person that buys this house. One of their biggest investments in their lifetime will be this house. So by me doing some of those things, consider it for them that they're going to get their money back plus, and see a lot of value add because of the things that I've done now for them. Like that big fence back there, the big decks and all that stuff, that not only saves a lot of money, but it adds a lot of value and it helps with the appreciation of the home. So if you have any questions, reach out, and hope you guys all have a great day or a great evening, depending on where you are. And my name is Dustin Olverson, and I am with One Dream Realty Group. And if you want to reach out, I'm easy to find.